All right, so now I can explain. So I'm wearing the Bedard shirt. If I could show it off on the camera here. I got this shirt on eBay. And the reason why, even though this is a soccer video, I'm wearing the shirt is to, it's a symbolism, which is that even though I'm old, I still appreciate quality athletes who are younger and up and coming. Despite even, Bedard's like kind of a super talent or whatever. And so impressive to me that I even bought a shirt with his name on it. You know what I'm saying? Now, is Cavan Sullivan the next Freddy Adu? It's a loaded question because Freddy Adu was a super prospect. And here's his page right here we're looking at. Signed at DC United at age 14. Spoken of as the next Pele. And then, like, his career didn't really pan out. He is a year younger than me. And, yeah, so he went straight to MLS. Freddy Adu, I believe, was like super quick, super fitness for 14. And obviously great touch on the ball. So I believe Freddy Adu deserved MLS more so than Cavan Sullivan from what I've seen in these past clips. It looks like Freddy Adu also has 17 caps at men's national team. Played on the under 17, 20, and 23. Real Salt Lake, Benfica, Monaco, Philadelphia Union. He made 35 appearances, scored 7 goals. Tampa Bay Rowdies about 10 years ago, which is USL, right? Second tier. But USL's the same thing as MLS pretty much. So his career didn't really pan out. He did okay. I think Cavan Sullivan's not going to, he's not the next Freddy Adu because he's not going to hit these benchmarks. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm giving you an unfiltered opinion that if you go to other popular commentary and analysis, they're going to give you opinions that are colored by their own biases to who they want to, who they have relationships with. But I'm not connected to anybody necessarily with MLS. So I'm just giving you actually what I think. And what I think is that from the clips that we watched just now, 100%, and I said this while we were watching, pretty much he looks like a college showcase player that should be playing at a recruiting camp and not in the MLS. He has like decent, instincts on what pass to make. His technique seems a little bit unrefined. His mechanics to me do not look promising. Mechanics are definitely way off. He's too short. Yeah. So he's in over his head in MLS. So let's look at his bio here to see when he went up. So he made his debut 2024, which is what, 2 years ago? So he was the same age as Freddy Adu, 14, too young. Fifth youngest player to sign a first-team contract in MLS history. But this is also like a representative of a changing of the times. So in the past, it would have been like and this is what I was just saying, like Freddy Adu was like a super freak athlete, super quick, great fitness, great touch on the ball. And so he was kind of like over here, and then the majority of other players live in this world. But now we're seeing these worlds collide where we have the MLS academy system. So we're going to see more and more of these young, and we have seen more and more of these young players coming up at a young age and getting MLS reps. And as a 38-year-old former player who only made it to college soccer, this does trigger me into feelings of like a little bit of bitterness and resentment, and also just like, I don't know, I'm kind of like cynical about it, because when I was coming up, it was always preached to everybody. It's like, you'll never make it. And in some ways, rightfully so. But then you look at the quality level. So the quality level in the decade where I came up from 96 to 06 was way higher, in my opinion. So it's like when I was a early teenager, 15, 16 years old, I'm looking up at superstar players like Donovan, Dempsey, DeMarcus Beasley, Bocanegra, and it's like these guys have a level of athleticism, fitness, soccer skills that are out of this world good. It's like, can I really say that I am on their level? Like, no, I can't. So when I'm looking at them at 15, 16, and I'm playing in the college recruiting camp, I'm like, it's like, I'm never going to become Landon Donovan, you know? So it kind of validates that sort of thought line. But on the other hand, like I talked before, playing out of college, it's like, why didn't you go to the MLS? People are like, well, you're not quick enough. You wouldn't survive. And it's like, we're just watching a 16-year-old kid get rep after rep, giving the ball over and turnovers, looking exactly like in those games that we just watched. He looked exactly like a high school sophomore playing against like the top of the line D1 team. And this brings me back to my experience playing in this Brown recruiting camp, Brown Elite 125. So it's like, I think it was like 150 high school soccer players. You had to apply to get in. You get in. Everyone gets on a team with a college coach. And it's a week long of tournaments. And every night, I believe, maybe it starts on the second day, they would have a showcase game. So they'd pick the best players from each of the teams and field them against like Brown players who are in the preseason, and not even all of them. And so you're seeing what that looks like. So I never played in the showcase game. Only got close maybe once when I was scoring. I scored like 3 or 4 goals in a row. I thought maybe I might get selected, but when we would watch the games, it's like a little, as a high school player playing against D1 guys who are absolute beasts, it's like, yeah, you're not there yet. So we're looking at that in real time. And like I said before, you can't skip steps. So you can't just go from like 14 years old, 16 years old, you're the best player on your club team, just like skipping this huge chunk of development, just going straight to the pros. It's like, it's not going to work. You're just like missing aspects of what you need to know. So I don't think his ceiling is nearly as high as the hype train has put it at. Let's read some more of his bio here and then wrap up the video. Got things I got to do, kind of. Actually, I do have things I have to do tonight. Okay. All right, youngest of 4 children. His father played in the USL and UPenn. His mother played D1, so he's like a whole soccer family. Older brother is on Philadelphia Union. That's how he got the cap and continued caps. Yeah, so he's, I guess the term is Nepo baby, right? He's got the connections to make it happen. It's a crazy amount of reps, though. Oh, and then we can wrap up on this. So Manchester City. Most expensive homegrown deal in MLS history. It was like $22 million or something. Okay, so conceivably play in Europe at 16 but cannot do so in England. Clubs that share ownership with Man City, Girona, Lomel, Palermo, Troyes would be possible destinations. Yeah. So he's 5'7". He's too short. FC Delco. I've heard of that. Yeah, I don't know. He's eligible to represent Germany, the U.S., and Bangladesh. No shot he's gonna make it on the German national team. U.S. maybe he might make it just based on his connections and like marketing money. Yeah. So is he the next Freddy Adu? It seems like that's possible. So Freddy Adu is 1 inch taller. I think Freddy Adu quicker, better touch on the ball, more of a freak athlete enigma special case. And then we seen what happened with his career. So yeah, that summarizes the video. Is he the next Freddy Adu? I think that he's not actually going to even touch the levels that Freddy Adu achieved. I think this is what we're seeing more so is a reflection of the changing of the system, the development system pathway, where we're seeing a young player getting more exposure at the first team MLS quicker based on the fact that they're trying to integrate development into the MLS, which is, critics and pundits will say it's all a money making, corporate dollars, money talks type of situation. I would love to see Cavan Sullivan, see how well he does. Like, drop him into. I was just watching a game the other day. I think it was Villanova versus Iona, D1 game from last year. I feel like he would get absolutely destroyed. And then he would get subbed out. If you turn the ball over in that game, you're getting subbed out. So that's where I think he's missing elements of what he needs to succeed. And watching the World Cup, I was exposed to watching a lot of pro soccer, which I normally don't watch. And the biggest thing I notice is a lot of these pro guys, it's a lot of time on the ball. Got to make the right decision. Some of them get way too many chances. I'm always brought back to Fernando Torres signing with Chelsea, and he didn't score a goal for 20 games or something insane. And it's like, how many chances are we going to give this guy? But people get chances, and that's what happens. But I think Cavan Sullivan would have a better chance. He needs to develop more. And if he doesn't really, in 2 years, 2 or 3 years, that's it. There's a lot of money. I can't believe they paid. How much money did they pay? Let me look this up. 1 second. End on that. How much? Transfer agreement is that he joins Man City. Top potential payout of up to $5 million. So they paid $2 million. I was off. It wasn't $22 million. That would have been absurd. $2 million up front to secure the player. God damn. Show me the money. At 18, I swear I'm fucking washing this guy. But just didn't have the foresight to realize that if I had kept playing, the generation below me was not quite as good, so I would have rose up higher. If he's getting $2 million, I'm getting I don't know, 4.75. He's got bonuses. Base guaranteed compensation of $364K to over $500K per year. God damn. Oh, by the way, everyone check out my book. See if I can pull it up real quick. 1 second. Check out my book, Soccer American Style, Journey of the NCAA. I used AI to create a new book cover, which is absolutely insane. So trying out a whole new book cover and back. used AI Chat GPT to create the book cover. It looks crazy though. But in my book, I basically talk about how my career panned out, and this was from 96 to 2006. And I guess it's an interesting case study just if you want to learn about what it was like to play up through the ranks during that time period, but also get into like the mental and psychological sides of everything. Being a soccer player and former athlete. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. You can check out the book. You just type in "soccer American style Mike" into Google. You can find it, or you can look at it on my Twitter or whatever.